Again, that switch out the back of the hand. The skim shot. It looked like the referee was about to call something there and then gave up. And then the spin shot from the left from Ferrara, reaping rewards again.
A lot of passes from the French are dropping short. Need to put a bit more oomph into their passes, make sure they get there.
Yeah, I mean, it could well be tiredness, couldn't it? I guess, you know, this side coming in for their first real European competition, maybe they've played... I seem to remember those shirts from Geneva competitions before, but maybe just the Open. So playing, you know, this high-quality level cheap ball and this kind of intensity repeatedly. This must be their fifth game now? This is their fifth game, yeah, with 7 players in 2 days. I can imagine they're feeling it. It's taken a little bit out of their arms. The ball played long from Phoenix. Cross to the right. Push shot, and it beats the Italian left defender there. Not necessarily a high-octane game, but a reasonably close one at this point. Excellent attempt at the catch there from the Phoenix right shooter. Just couldn't quite hold on.
You do get a sense the Italians are coasting a little bit. They definitely have a couple of gears to go up.
Yep. What's been given there? Surely that was a shot. I seem to just give an incomplete pass. Interesting. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Italians start to build a relatively commanding lead in the second period. Blue ball switching it across there, and the Italians picking it up on front line, and they quickly send it to the other end with 1 pass left. Switches across, big gap on the wide shot, and he gratefully takes it. 13-18 the score now. The ball in from the back from Phoenix. Played across. The option ball. Returning, same end. Some nice range. Point is given by the front line. Great play there within the spirit of cheap ball. Ball sent in, immediately returned, and the shooter who gave that point initially says, "Do you know what? I'm going to take one right back," and spins it through. Last 2 minutes of this period now, and a good catch on front line from Ferrara, sending it long. 1 pass left, switches across, and landing called. The Italian number 5 seemed a little bemused with that decision. And sent back to the same end. Ooh, he'll be a bit more than bemused now. He's been hit square in the face. International relations, however, have not suffered at all. A quick hug from the French and the Italian players. No harm has been caused. We're about to see a replay here. That is spectacular. There's actually been quite a few of those in this tournament, haven't there?
Yeah. Well, I think with a lot of teams starting to shoot a lot higher and trying to take the easy second line points, you're going to get a lot of face shots. Someone doesn't react quick enough, or someone does read it but doesn't quite get their body in the right position.
I was saying earlier how the Italian number 17 has just been called landing there, and when I talk about bemusement, the Italian number 5 was bemused. I don't think number 17 believes he can land. Every time he's been called landing, he acts with such incredulity that it is as if he doesn't think he's able to land. I admire the confidence, to be honest. Ball in from the back from Ferrara. Sent across. The option ball. Down the other end. Final pass. And a massive gap. That's exactly what good full court play can do. It opens up the gaps massively, and with a final killer pass to one end, you know, he had 40-degree gap to shoot in there, and he took it with a plomb, straight down the middle. And the option ball now, 15 seconds left of this game. Correction this period, and travel called. Interestingly, that was the referee at the other end calling that travel. These two referees didn't necessarily think so. Will they get it in time? Did they get it in time? Yes, they did. The referee has said... interestingly, we talk about the spirit of Tuchel. The Italians are saying, no, that didn't come in time. And the French are saying, yes, it did. So both sides trying to give the point away from themselves. But the point has been scored. And at the end of the first period, 20 to Ferrara, 16 to Phoenix. To commentary of the second period of Phoenix Marignier against Ferrara Monkeys. The referees have swapped ends. I see the Italians have made one change and one change only.
One player change and they've swapped the ends of the right shooters.
Yes. You say swap the ends of the right... Well, Andrea Bonaro's gone up this end, but Nicola Fanani is playing as a defender at this point, so... Frame ball called.
I've seen quite a bit of that from the Italians this weekend as well, mixing up the usual positions of some of their players.
I think some of it is fatigue management, almost. The idea that, you know, you've got 7 relatively high intensity games, and if you are shooting constantly for... I mean, I thought that shot was good, to be honest. And the Italians have confirmed that as well. They've called it as a point. Great fair play there. Yeah, if you're having to shoot, you know, let's say you're switching and you're jumping maybe, I don't know, twice a minute. Let's call it that. It could well be more, but twice a minute for an entire game is 90 times over 7 games. You know, 630 periods of that, and that doesn't count all of the stop-start moving for defending and second line running. So there's absolutely a level of having to keep a little bit in the legs for the final decisive games on Sunday. Ferrara bringing the ball in from the back. Immediately sent back down the other end. We do seem to be seeing this right-hand end favoured by both teams. Yeah, some good switching there. And we see the points called as a result. It's quite an awkward angle it came out at, but I wasn't able to see exactly how framey that was. Again, they send it down this end. Well recovered. Great catch from the shooter. And with only one in defence, he's not going to be able to do anything with that there, is he? But he's still got a smile on his face as he picks himself up. You see the French left shooter, almost a rabbit in the headlights as the on-rushing Italian, despite being significantly smaller than him. I say significantly smaller. They're both about the same size. That might have been a little bit harsh. This is a sport where tall people, small people, people of any sizes are more than welcome to participate. Any ages, any genders. Very inclusive sport. Again, some good play from Ferrara, and Phoenix bring the ball in from the back.
I think the Phoenix second line was just a bit close there. There's a lot of power in the Italian shots. The knockup's going to come quite high.
I mean, there's a lot of the Italian passes there as well. He has absolutely bulleted that one at him from about 4 meters away. There's no wonder he didn't catch it. Things just starting to get a little bit sloppy here. That said, lovely second line shot there from the left shooter for the French. The style of this French left shooter, I think, works relatively nicely with his right shooter in the partnership. Oh, almost an excellent pickup after a dig on front line there. Yeah, I think it suits the partnership quite nicely in where he delivers the ball. So he's almost selling the 45 to 60 before he sends it across, which hopefully takes one defender away from what the right shooter is choosing to do. I think if he wants to truly develop his game, he needs to develop a consistent square shot and be able to deliver that as a switch as well. That if he can sell the left shooter, he's going to impact the rest of the defence being able to get round, and his right shooter there is going to have an absolute field day with being able to shoot against a D with the 0 or 1 defender. Certainly a lot less than he's normally up against. Great defence there from Ferrara. Oh, and even better there from Phoenix. Is that 4 shots at the same end? I've called it. The Italians were calling it. The referees were not calling it. Terrible officiating. And we can say that because they're our teammates. Ferrara bring the ball in from the back. Well, no messing around there. 0 passes taken, 1 shot, 1 point.
A little bit frantic there.
A little. You get the feeling neither of these sides are playing genuinely at their top capability. And that illustrates it. An absolute bullet ball going nowhere close to where it was intended. Ooh, well read. Nice swivel from Ferrara, 1 pass left, the switch. And Francold. And the ball comes up the right-hand end again. Final pass, the shot, Francold. Yeah, these mistakes are just coming and coming and coming, aren't they? Sent back down the right-hand end. They do love this end. And dropped on front line there. Nice, low shot. The read was all right, but they just couldn't get both hands to it, and the ball dropped before they were able to regather. Phoenix bring the ball in from the back. The fake switch. I guess the fake shot into the fake switch, and that's a given point. Ferrara with the ball in from the back. First time shot, and they've scored it. Relatively simple play. I mean, if you don't make any passes, it does stop you from making many mistakes, to be fair.
That is certainly true.
Once again, no passes taken, no mistakes made. He's caught it on defence, he's taken 2 steps, and he's immediately shot it back. That said, nice little triple there from Phoenix shows that some defence movement can bring you some reward as well. I'm still not entirely sure about that switch at the back of the hand. I just think it's so variable for your for the right shooter to be able to run onto in terms of pace. But if it works for them, it works for them. Nice little play from Ferrara there. Quick switch aerially means that the left shooter and the defender are both committed, and the defender running through to take the shot only had 1 to go against, and it was an uneven matchup. To sort his feet out slightly there, but it worked out for him in the end. It's an awkward height to defend, that kind of shoulder to neck height. And Ferrara bringing the ball in from the back. Switching across. Long ball now. 1 pass left. Doesn't take it. Low, hard, 40-degree shot. Well scored. Ball sent in. First time shot. First time shot. 1 was caught, 1 was scored. Quick and simple. Ferrara starting to shoot back more and more. I wouldn't be surprised at some point if we see them still on their knees take a shot back. Just some inaccuracy more there from Phoenix. Yeah, we've seen that a couple of times where a defender has caught the ball on front line, seen that there's absolutely no defence and hasn't even stood up. They've just popped the ball back at the frame for the easy point, if you're able to achieve. It's relatively high risk, to be honest, for not a lot of reward. But with the way the game's going, I can kind of feel it coming. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of flair plays start coming out. You might even see it from both teams. People trying to have a bit of fun.
It's somewhat the French style, isn't it? You see it with quite a few French teams. And the Ferrara coach appears to be calling for both ends to swap, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see this. The next point, both ends will move round. Will this be the next point here? Not just yet. I think he's just called 2 passes. That has to be the final one. And there we go. Right. The coach is calling for a swap. Oh, it's just a left shooter swap. Interesting. So Fabio Bolognese, and it looks like David Cristofori has come on, but who has he replaced?
He came on for Emmy.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a full end swap. It turns out the extravagant hand gestures were only referring to one person. Yeah, sorry, we were talking about how the French style is often quite kind of flair heavy in the way they play. Sold him with the eyes there. Small little celebration from the left shooter. This gap steadily growing in the score, 25 to Phoenix, 36 to Ferrara, so an 11-point gap now with less than 5 minutes left. Speaking of flair, the referee is now trying flair as well. He feinted as if he was going to call that a point and then brought the other hand up to call it frame. James Skilton not above a little bit of showing off. Ball taken from the breakdown, returned down the same end, and Skilton clearly has a frame on the brain. He instinctively tried to call that one frame and then quickly realised his mistake and moved it back to point. Ferrara brought the ball in, sent it back down the left-hand side, long ball to the right-hand side with one pass left, switched across, and it's caught on front line with using one pass. One pass now remaining, switch. I mean, I think that was landing, but the point is called.
Yeah, a French right shooter maybe could have taken the shot himself. There was a lot of space open. The Italians weren't really prepared for it.
Yeah. Oh, nice little fast switch there. Sold the defence, who are still on their knees waiting. But it doesn't matter because the left shooter has done their work for them and has caught the ball, sent it down the other end, switched across. And that was going to be an excellent shot by the look of it, but it just hit himself as it rebounded from the frame, which is automatically a given point. And you can see the frustration on his face. He knew that was going to be a good ball. The ball in from the back, and an easy drop there from Phoenix. But the catch is made where it matters, and she's just kept her feet in court. She recycles it now, and with 0 passes left, the shot is taken, but it's just not quite got the power to beat the international class of that defence for Ferrara. Switch across, and some real quality we're seeing there. The aerial switch into a shot which left the defence with no chance whatsoever. A valiant attempt, but never catching that. Ball is returned to the left-hand side, immediately sent down the right-hand side, and he's putting more and more effort in. You can... Do you know what? He's not limping as much anymore, is he?
No, he's working a lot better now. It's obviously an impact injury. It just keeps setting off.
I think the Swiss team, Valderou, you may be able to see them on the camera warming up just to the left-hand side, may be of the opinion that the Italian left shooter is landing.
It might just be a little bit of friendly joking between two teams who are probably quite acquainted.
Entirely possible. Although that said, can you remember the last time anyone caught landing in this game? It must have been about 15-20 minutes ago. I don't necessarily think our referees, lovely teammates and colleagues as they are maybe as necessarily hot on the landings as they might be in certain other games. And certainly if it's a game they're playing in, they might consider more of these to be landing. I'd probably consider that to be landing as well, to be honest. But a point is called, and Ferrara will bring the ball in from the back. Well recovered there from Matteo Cristofori, and sent across. Well recovered. For the point for Ferrara, and Phoenix will bring the ball in from the back with 35 seconds left in this period. The long ball now. Phoenix have one pass left. Borrego switches. Plissier. Shoot. Oh, that was almost well recovered on defence, but it looked like the defender had put his hand on it whilst his foot was in the D. Such is life. I don't really know what happened there. But whatever happened, they have 6 seconds left, and it has to go from that side, so we'll be lucky to see a shot here. Oh, we will. And the Hooters go. The point will not count for Ferrara. So we finished that period with 30 points to Phoenix, 41 to Ferrara. join us with some excellent volume there as the sides finish their cheers, ready to commence this final period of their final game. With 11 points the difference, it'll be difficult for the French to bring it back. Am I counting this right? Have the Italians only got 6 people on the field? Oh, they've just realised their mistake and they've sent another person on. I'd have made them start with 6, to be honest. Phoenix bring the ball in from the back. Switched across. Long ball now. Yeah. James Skilton has remembered how to call landing. Something in that little chat in the centre circle must have brought it back for the refs.
That was quite an obvious one, to be fair. If he had not called that one, it might have been very controversial.
I don't know. How controversial can one decision be in Duke Ball, huh?
Travelling called there.
Phoenix with a double switch, and he's not quite, after he hit someone in the face this time, I think, was that shoulder? Where's she holding? I think it was side of face and shoulder. But the point is scored for Phoenix, and Ferrara will bring the ball in from the back. And immediately score back. 0 passes taken, 1 shot taken, 1 point. Seems to be a theme here. With the ball coming in from the back for Phoenix. And a relatively easy frame call there. Bounced about on the blue line. They have 3 meters to take it from the middle of the court. And it's fed into the right shooter, who long balls it back to the other right shooter. Shoots, and it's very difficult when you're effectively defending 3-1-3 in places. There's not a huge amount of second line cover going on, and the second line for Phoenix isn't the most mobile either. So even when you get the digs, it's sometimes quite hard to come around and recover the ball. Ferrara will have the ball now. Sent long, collected one-handed, switched across to the right. Reasonably long hang time there before he puts the ball just inside the 90. And the Phoenix defence couldn't quite get their hands underneath it, and the point was scored. But Phoenix now...
Oh, very nice spin shot there.
Yeah, he's got that one quite nicely, hasn't he? That kind of 45 shoulder height one. It's a difficult one to defend. Ball in from Ferrara from the back. Left shooter sends it across. Long ball, 1 pass left. What will he do with it? Switches, and he frames the push shot there. Nicely works, but just couldn't quite execute the final shot. And this is what happens when you let defenders shoot, Andy. We're not cut out for it. It's a weird and alien thing. Excellent, excellent sportsmanship there from Ferrara. Admitting that the ball had touched the floor, referee.
It's back of his leg.
Oh. Still good sportsmanship, just not quite what I was talking about.
Given point there by Ferrara.
Ferrara playing some possession shoot ball. And they send the ball in from the back. Switched across. And again. And frame again. There's quite a few mistakes in this last period. It does kind of feel like both sides have somewhat accepted what the result of this game is going to be, which is a little disappointing to see. There's still some flashes of good play here, but it's just there's so many mistakes and it's so bitty. I don't know if that's quite the word I'm going for.
Well, based on what we've seen from the Italians so far, I think they just used too many passes.
Fractured, fragmented. You see again another mistake. It's just lending to this game being very unstructured and not particularly fun one to watch for the neutral. I'm doing a really bad job of selling this. There's been some excellent play. We've seen. Oh, that was almost an.
That was a frame.
Yeah, but regardless, the 180 catch would have been a sight to behold. Phoenix now send it across. One pass left. The switch. Full run up. To be honest, I think that had touched before then as well, but the hand out of play just sealed it. The Italian defender there looked to try and feed the right shooter, realised he was hideously out of court, and the pass would have immediately resulted in Phoenix gaining the ball, so he put it across the left instead. On the flare, and the no jump stuff.
See, that no pass is used, scores a point.
Yes, it does. Point goes on, still 11 points there to the lead for Ferrara, and the foot on the line saved him there, because once again that was a good shot, but he'd caught himself in the follow through after a round from the frame, so it would have been a short had he not put his foot on the line. Ferrara send the ball across. Switch again, one pass left, take it, and this time the push shot is more accurate, not off the frame, straight across the net, and the point is the result. Ball in from the back from Phoenix. Sent across. And again, one more. Doesn't take it. One pass for a spin shot from the left, and it was too good there for the Phoenix defence. Phoenix will bring the ball in from the back. Straight to their left shooter. Switches across. Switch again. One more. Long ball. 1, 2, 3. He doesn't really give himself a huge amount of space there to. And what I'm talking about, he runs in so flat that it's very, very difficult for when he's running from that distance to give himself many other kind of shots other than that push.
Yeah, it was, when he didn't really have a jump either, it was not really going to go anywhere else than wide.
No. As it happens, both referees didn't quite see what happened. They awarded the ball back to Phoenix to take again. Frame ball there from the Italians, and Phoenix will have the ball with half of the period left. 13 points the difference. At this point, you'd have to say it's somewhat insurmountable, but Phoenix haven't given up. Ferrara, I mean, I won't say they haven't showed up, but I don't think they've really got out of second gear at this point. A given point as it rebounds from the net directly onto the shooter. And the option ball sent back to the same end, one pass left, he long balls it, one to shoot at, and despite him being the only person on the line, he still shot at him. But it doesn't really matter. And, oh, surely, somebody call landing. I went a little bit French there.
Won't give in on that one. Yeah.
Refereeing is a very difficult job. You're trying to keep your eyes on so many things at once, and it's very awkward to be able to have your eyes in enough places to be able to make sure that you're keeping. And that's why it works so well as a team. But sometimes things are quite blatant, and it's maybe a little frustrating to the onlooker that these things aren't being called.
A bit of miscommunication there between the Italians. No one really sure who should have been catching that long ball.
And not necessarily miscommunication, but the Italians maybe not realising that the Phoenix had the ball from the breakdown. So a second line shot there, popped off the shoulders quite nicely of Ferrara, but absolutely nothing on second line for Ferrara, so the point was scored. Ferrara having switched once, send it back. and with one person on the line, he's picked him off again. Defender just struggling slightly. Couldn't make it back in time. Phoenix send it back down the right-hand side, but the pass is too short and they've dropped it. Ferrara quickly bring the ball in, but they're out of court and they therefore give possession back to Phoenix.
It's been a change by the French. They've the two shooters at the right-hand side have swapped sides of the D.
Yep. So you have Borrego now on this right-hand side. Be interested to see what that does. I've not seen either of these players shoot from these sides. I suspect it's still going to be the way that the right shooter now is setting up the left shooter. But we shall see. Ferrara score the point there. 12 points the difference, just under 5 minutes to go. Correction, 13 points the difference. The scoreboard hasn't quite caught up. There's the option, sent back by the defender, well handled. One pass taken, 2 to get to a shooting position, 3, he's got to shoot now. And landing is called. I don't know what he's hoping to get out of the two-handed shot, really. Frame. Yeah. I've got to stop myself doing refereeing from here. It's bad. Commentate on the match. Ferrara bring the ball in from the breakdown. Athleticism not to overbalance. And Villani there shooting from his non-preferred left-hand side. But spins it down. And there's enough of a gap from the front line to the D there that he was easily able to pick up the point. The French with the switch out the back of the hand, sent down the other end, shoots, and it pops off the chest of the Italian right shooter who can't gather, and the French score the point. Ball comes in from the back now, and the ball goes out the back of the other side. What do you think to the change they've made then, Andy? These two shooters swapping around?
You can see they're a bit uncomfortable in their positions, a bit unfamiliar with what they should be doing decision-wise. The switch there from the left to the right was in the wrong place. The right shooter was not standing in a good position to make a good shot. Great one-handed pickup there from the second line of the Italians.
I wonder if they've made that change defensively. Have they done it to try and counteract something that the Italians are doing with their shooting, or have they done it just because there's 5 minutes left of the game and they want to try something different?
I think it's just so that the player on the right-hand side can practice shooting from the right.
Very fairly there, he awards a frame against himself.
Take a bit of pressure off of the normal right shooter, not having to put as much effort in to score all the points. Especially as he's started to limp again.
And in terms of, I think sometimes the way his action works from both sides, his action from when he's pushing the ball from the right is more kind of flowing, so he kind of leaps forward and continues forward, where when he's jumping from the left, he's jumping up and then coming down hard, so any kind of impact injury is going to be exacerbated by that. And a trick play from the Italians in the switch. Yeah. And a little pop shot doesn't quite get gathered by the defence, who concede the point. And the ball comes in from the back now. Just over 1 minute left. Well gathered there. One pass taken. Yeah, there's some tiredness creeping in here, isn't there? I think they thought that was short. To be honest, I think I did as well. But just the frame called. And there we go, that little pop shot. I called it much earlier in the game and it's finally happened. Only in the last minute, but
I wasn't expecting it from the French against the Italians. I thought it'd be the other way around. Easily picked up by the Italians. Frame called on the shoot back.
I don't necessarily think the French agree with that. The Italians are indeed trying to call a point, but it continues. Doesn't really make a huge amount of difference with 15 seconds left in the game. And the ball should come back in quickly from the back now with 6 seconds remaining. And a given point. To be honest, that kind of sums up the game, doesn't it?
It does.
And as we finish there, oh, that point's gone on the wrong side. It should actually be 39-57. But as we finish, Ferrara, the deserved winners of their final match. There we go, the score has changed correctly. In the group stages of the European Winners' Cup 2024. Thank you for joining us today.